Good morning. I'm off to run on Mt.Doug. I need this freedom run. I was waiting to hear from Sandy now. Hello. About running this weekend, but I guess Easter has got her too busy. I hope she's getting a run in today. I have my app set for 10-minute repeats. It'll give me my pace and my distance every 10 minutes. I'm also listening to my music at the same time. This is going to be quite challenging. Real time is 11 a.m. Easter Saturday. I've been listening to James's podcast lately. I'm working my way backwards through them. What I'll do is, when I'm finished with my current playlist, whatever I happen to be programming to listen to, I always try and keep a little space in my listening week for catching up with back episodes of people that I'm following. Hi. This I'm recording on a pretty calm mid-morning day, overcast. 1 kilometer's just passed. I know that because it always happens right there. Very soon I will be on the trails, running in a much more peaceful environment. Today the plan is altitude and attitude. I'm going to head up, and I'm anticipating my mood will improve on my way up. Not that I'm in a bad mood, but in the first 7 minutes of a run, which you're not even sure how long you will be enjoying, that is always an issue. But with absolutely no plan other than altitude and attitude, I'm sure I can address both those issues with this run. And depending how my old 62-year-old body is feeling, it'll either be an 8K run or somewhere around an hour and a half maybe, depending how many of the hiking options I take. I'm planning, sort of not planning, but I have an idea of doing a counterclockwise loop of the lower trails, and then I'll choose my summit summit approach from Whitaker. So this is normally where I should be getting my 10-minute reminder. The only problem with listening to music while I'm running is that I have an annoying habit So I just had my 10-minute 1.4k 7-minute kilometers target pace for today. I'm going to lose that target pace once I start hiking. That is when my podcast will start becoming less of a conspiratorial whisper and more of a, I don't know, something a little more joyous as the endorphins start to pump through my brain. I took the liberty of forwarding a link to Norman and James of a very, very interesting podcast that I was listening to yesterday from the BBC while I was doing my first brick workout. The gist of the podcast was that with all the best intentions in the world, going to the gym or running 3 times a week was excellent for your body, but as opposed to the negative effect of sitting, it was almost insignificant. Seriously, that's what he was suggesting. I think, in a way, he has a point. During the podcast, he was interviewing some of his colleagues at the BBC office where he worked and asking them just quite simply how much time do they spend sitting down during the course of their work. And I was astounded by their replies. Some of them were anticipating 12 hours of inactivity. Hello. I'm sure the body was not designed to spend 10 to 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, in a seated position. I can thank my wife for my interest in this topic. She told me months ago about how they're calling sitting the new smoking. If anything that we do on a regular basis impacts negatively on our overall health, sitting is probably the major negative factor. It's worth thinking about. I know any nurses, elementary school teachers, chefs, mailmen, policemen on the beat. Not that you see too many policemen on the beat, but the people who are paid to stand for their jobs, I'm sure, have an inherent advantage over the office jockey. What do you guys think? As an experiment, following through this idea, I started using my Ironman interval timer there was a stream of cars, and the third guy thought he was moving slow enough to stop for me. Anyway, yes, back to the interval timer on my Ironman watch. I was trying to stand for an hour and a half on the timer as 3 separate half-hour stands. Now, that might seem simple, but believe me, after about 5 or 6 minutes of being still, I started to move my arms. I started to do a few of my standing yoga poses. Morning. Not a bad way of spending half an hour. Another time, I spent half an hour reading my book, standing up. I think it all helps. And getting back to those standing jobs, I'm sure a lot of my youth was spent standing because I worked for 18 years as a cook slash chef slash restaurateur, and I can guarantee you will never see a chair in a kitchen. Never. It might actually be legislated as a safety issue, but I'm sure that most bosses will not tolerate their chefs sitting down to work. So 18 years of standing for a living, and then what do? I start running seriously in the middle of that 18 years. Probably about year 15 of working as a cook. So actually, I have now been running a little longer than I worked as a cook. And then what do? After that, I retool, train myself in a new profession of home care. I used to visit very old men and women in their homes to help them with their ADLs. So hike. Merry Man is to the left. I am now circling the base trail of Mt.Doug on a trail called Whitaker. This will take me over a swampy area .22k, 20 minutes. I'm already dropped behind my target pace, but that was the hiking that I've been doing. You've heard it, this is a continuous recording. I haven't hit the pause yet, but I probably will. If I have an uncontrollable urge to clear my throat, I could spare you that sound. I must compliment James for his ability to talk for 50 minutes without a break. I don't think I could, even if I covered every topic in my mind. I guess I probably just carry a few thoughts per run, and then when I run out of things to say, I just hit pause and run some more. I don't have a gym box. Gym boss. That was a joke. I don't have a gym boss. My wife does, but I offered her the option of running with me sometime today, and I have fallen into that trap more than once when I've said, okay, let me know, and by mid-afternoon she tells me, oh, it's raining, I don't want to go. And I have been sitting on my hands, fidgeting, restless to go and get my jollies, only to be thrown a curveball. Hello. Hi. Hi. A couple of young ladies with a poodle, recently shorn poodle. Oh, now the dog wants to play with me. I'll give her one more lunge. She's dropping back and running up to me, and they're getting cold back. Oh, she's tired already. This section used to be a real quagmire back in the old days, before the municipality started regrading the trails to encourage more park usage. It's not quite wheelchair accessible unless you're Rick Hansen. He was the local guy, in case you didn't know that. Rick Hansen grew up in BC, and I think he had his spinal cord severed in a car crash or a truck rollover or something. So this is the first of the bridgey things, boardwalks I guess they are, second and third. Well, that's ingenious. The park people were well aware of the habit of trails washing out in the winter, so they let it wash out, and then they rebuilt the trail, accommodating this natural drainage point by putting in some larger granite stones to prevent it from washing any further. The water will pass, but the gravel is bigger, so it won't have to be replaced. But it looks very nice. They've done a very good job of melding the manicured nature with the rain runoff adjusted profile of the trail. You see, I get to talk myself into a linguistic trap, and then I have to start thinking about how I'm going to get unsnagged. Okay, still climbing. This will pop me out onto more of a horizontal trajectory. This episode will be accompanied by a soundtrack of sorts. I will slot in a few tunes from my extensive Grateful Dead collection. I don't think I finished that thought that I had back around the 10-minute mark when I was talking about how it's difficult to talk when you're listening to music. Not impossible, and it's even more difficult at times not to sing along with your favorite Grateful Dead tunes, which has an intrinsic problem. If you do that, then you have to try and find the song that you inadvertently recorded yourself singing, which kind of makes your edit a lot more lengthy than it needs to be. So very soon I'm going to hit the major climb up to the summit, up a slippery, bare rock incline ascent. Most people use that as a descent trail. I think I did last weekend. I just slipped on some more mud. Yep, I now have a title for this episode. It'll have the word mud in it somewhere. Okay, I'm on what I call Baby Elephant Rock. As swinging to the left and beginning the steep rock ascent to the top of Big Mt.Doug. I will hit the 30-minute point quite soon. At the moment I'm up to 25 minutes of record time. Well, I managed to fall today. Here we go, half an hour. $3.4K so far. Yeah, I managed to slip and not scuff my knuckle again. I think my last recording I slipped and punched the ground. I was analyzing why I was doing that, because the normal reaction when you fall is to open your hands up and go down palm first, but I was recording, so I had the device in my hand, and because of that I ended up scuffing my knuckle. Yep, the view is beginning to open up, and at the next lookout point I will do a bit of a 360 panorama video clip for those who are unaware of where I'm doing this run. You will have a video trailer. I'm not exactly sure what will happen to my runkeeper lady when I start filming video, but I'm sure I'll be able to find out. Okay, so this is probably high enough up Mt.Doug for you to get a really good idea of what Lotus Land really looks like. Okay, now my iPod is misbehaving again. Oh, it's facing me. Okay, well I'll still have to do the 360, but it'll be facing me, so I'm gonna have to turn myself all the way around from where I am halfway up Mt.Doug. You can see that the clouds are pretty thick, but not too bad. The sun is trying to peek through. Now that view behind me there is Cadborough Bay. No, sorry, I always get them mixed up. That is Cordova Bay. And as I go around, you'll be able to see the scenery a little better. Up there is the summit, yep, of Mt.Doug. And you can see that's the kind of rock that I'm climbing up. Okay, somebody's coming down. Alright, so this is me and them signing off on Mt.Doug. Morning.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. But if I don't know you, then I'm not gonna buy anything from you. But if you're my buddy, you take me out and give me a freebie.
What?
Have you been hiking for a while now? Today?
We just went up to the top.
Yeah. Is the road open yet?
The road?
Yeah, there is the road that they open up at noon. I guess it's probably, no, it's 11:30 now.
Oh, well,
Oh,
there's
you
some
mean-
people up there with kids. So
Yeah, but they must have hiked up as well.
Right, you mean the road to drive, hey?
Yeah,
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 I
yeah.
don't know. I've never driven up.
No?
Pretty quiet up there, though.
Well, you know, anybody who you see now on Mt.Doug has hiked up, which is active.
Yeah, everyone's out for the weekend.
True. Yeah, I had a little fall today, but I just got a little muddy, that's all.
Oh,
Nothing serious.
good.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Happy Easter.
Same to you guys. So it is quite amazing. It never ceases to amaze me how nice active people tend to be. I'm sure it must be something to do with the endorphins in their system from hiking or running or whatever. Yeah. Well, my Runkeeper app is still apparently measuring and timing this outing of mine. I really don't think I could call it a run, but I am running whenever I can. Mainly because I enjoy running whenever I can. A lot of the ultras that I do are much like this. You have, in a 5-hour stretch of the course, you might end up doing 40 minutes to an hour of hiking, which is why it appears that ultramarathons are competed at a very leisurely pace. This is true, in fact, if distance over the ground was your criteria, but basically it boils down to how much you are exerting your engine. That's why when the going gets easier, my body automatically starts to run. It's almost like my default setting is to run, and anything other than that is alien, like sitting, vegging out on the couch. That's why I felt so guilty on Wednesday, because I was just emotionally uncomfortable with being sedentary. Oh, that's beautiful. Up here on Mt.Doug, I actually have a little bit of wild daffodil action. I think I probably have enough. No, I don't have enough movie footage yet, so here we go. There is the wild daffodils. They seem to be very frilly on the edges. See what I mean? The actual bell part is quite beautiful. Hello, Daff. How are ya? I'm trying to keep my fat fingers away from the lens. I did forget to clean it today, so you're gonna probably have a bit of a smear fest. But it does give me additional audio that I can use for my next submission to Kevin's magnificent. Have I used that word for Kevin yet? Magnificent podcast. These little flowers are called shooting stars. These are called fern lilies, not to be mistaken with Easter lilies, which are bigger. Kevin and all the Extra Mile listeners, this is the Carlos man. This is Carlos the running jackal, recommending that you listen to my new friend's podcast, Mr. James of the Seeker podcast fame. Alright, so up I go, up towards the summit of Mt.Doug. And I think any second now we'll be able to see the cement buttress of the lookout point. This is the more used trail that I'm on now. And there it is, up there, up this last rocky section to the top. So, all the Extra Mile listeners, I'm sure you're all getting pumped for the spring race season in your part of the world. Quite frankly, I wouldn't be too worried if I never had to race again. But I know it is motivational for lots of people to have a target race. Hi. Hello. 40 minutes. And there's a little bird, a skylark, if I'm not mistaken. So, as I was about to say to Kevin and all the Extra Milers, this is the running jackal saying Happy Easter to everybody. And stop. This is another thing. My iPod takes a while to stop. Sometimes it takes forever. And I think it's either due to a low battery slowing down the processor, or something to do with it trying to find a Wi-Fi signal out here in the boonies. All you guys with 3G, your phones behave a lot better because they have all that backup with a 3G network that you're all paying for. But unfortunately, Canada is one of the countries that has not adopted a very economical 3G system. To have a cell phone here is still considered quite a luxury. Most people who have access to company cell phones have taken advantage of that. Yeah, I've got a little bit of editing to do on the video because unfortunately the little snippet of video will not really give the extra mile listeners much of an idea of what I'm looking at unless they follow the link to the Running Jackal YouTube feed and subscribe. Then they will get not only all the videos that I put up, but they will also get all the episodes that I load onto the Spreaker platform from any of my many shows. Unfortunately, I don't have all my shows accepted on iHeartRadio, so occasionally I throw one out on the Jackpot or the Sunday show. I think I still have 4 or 5 shows with titles like the Monday Show or the Jackpot, or I think the Thursday show got accepted. I'm not sure about that. Up, I see people up ahead. Hi. Ooh. Hello, little guy, little girl. Hi. Are you safe yet down there? Good. I don't like distracting people when they're carrying children. Especially on this kind of terrain. It gets very flat quite soon. Eh? I'm not quite ready to get by you. Hello. Oh, look at this dog. I've seen this dog before today. He's had a haircut. It's okay. I think the little girl was quite surprised to see the dog. Yeah, that was the same poodle, Sean poodle that I saw earlier. They must have come up a different way. I know they did, because they didn't come up my way. And more people, more hikers. I love it. Hi there. This is the infamous sand gully, and this section is part of the Gutbuster mountain run that used to be held every August on Mt.Doug, and it was quite interesting because a lot of the people were first-time mountain runners and they weren't quite prepared for this kind of ascent or descent. They had graduated into trail running just because it was taking part in their hometown. It was part of their running community events. Okay, now I'm heading downhill. This is where I have to be a little more careful of swinging my arms like a son of a bitch. Down the fast descent of Glendenning. I know I'm up to about 45 minutes of running, so I'm going to take the honourable exit here around it will give me about 8K for today, I'm guessing, but I can get back and continue my Let's Fatten Up Carlos project. Oh, that woodpecker sounds pretty close. I am thinking about hanging back a little bit on the beer production, because I've noticed that I tend to drink far less beer when I'm not drinking my own beer. I do make my own homebrew, which is all I really need throughout the year, but give my liver a bit of a break. Coming up to May the 10th is probably a good idea. I might partake in a glass of wine with Norma, the odd supper that we have together. That might be fun. But I think my liver will probably work a little better after hour 4 if I haven't been burdening it with detoxification. I've done about 5k and I've got about 2k to go. This will encourage me to go out a little longer tomorrow. I might do another break tomorrow. Hello. I'm still giving Sandy the option of booking my services as run buddy for Sunday if she is off, but I haven't heard back from her, so I guess I'm just going to be running solo again on Sunday, but that's okay, I'm used to that. Let's just see what I've got so far in the can, as they say. Ooh, 46 minutes. I got 2 more minutes to say goodbye, and that'll put me back on San Juan. San Juan, because I don't know if you are aware of this, but this part of BC was explored way back in the old pioneer days, before actually they had done the across the United States Lewis and Clark expedition, I should say. Lewis Clark my brain just farted again. Expedition. I think that a guy called Francisco de Quadra, a Spaniard, sailed up from Mexico and California as far as Vancouver Island. So there you go. We have had the West Coast exploration way back. And consequently, there's a lot of Spanish sounding names around here. The case in point is the road that I'm just about to turn onto, which is called El Nido. So, this is the running jackal saying goodbye for Easter Saturday to my friends all over the known world.